record this class. So what you can do is you can stop your video. If one person wants to keep their video on, like Amber said that she would, just so that I know if I say down dog and she goes to down dog, I know that you can hear me. So when we get started, feel free to stop your video if you don't want anybody to see you. So we are going to record. And okay, so that's ground rule numero uno. So everyone on mute, please. That way we don't disrupt anything. I have my cell phone right here, so please text me if there's any issues. You can't hear me, anything like that. And then I'm gonna move into just some general like yoga rules. So some of you have done classes with me, some of you haven't. So just in general, listen to your body. I'm not there with you, so I don't know if your knee's feeling bad, your arm's not feeling good. So just take your time, listen to your body. There is a difference between discomfort and pain. So if you're in a lunge and it's challenging, that's okay. If you're in a lunge and your knee is in pain, you need to come out of it. So please just listen to your body. This is a vinyasa class, so we do try to link our breath with our movements. So just move with intention, move with, just take it easy, be slow, be mindful with your movements. If you have a block and you think that you might need it, you might want to grab one and have it handy. I have one towards the top of my mat. We're going to do some triangle and pyramid poses, so a block might be helpful for that. This is a 75-minute class, so I'm going to try my best to absolutely end at 7:15 p.m. If you're in New York, that will be 8:15. I will hang out after the class and stay on here in case anyone wants to chat or has any questions. So if everyone would get into a comfortable seat, that could be cross-legged, it might be kneeling. And I'm gonna give you a little background about today. So today is a full moon, April 7th. I was originally gonna do a full moon class at 7:30 after this class in our physical studio, but we are closed right now. So if you get a chance later to go outside and look at it, it's gonna be really cool. So it's not only a full moon tonight, it is a pink moon. So it's not actually pink, it's named pink because of flowers that are blooming that are pink. It's also a super moon. So that's pretty cool. Of the super moons, tonight is the biggest super moon of 2020. So even cooler. And so what does that mean? So it's the closest to the Earth. It's 221,772 miles away. So just a little bit about the theme and how maybe the moon applies to you would be the full moon has a powerful shift that's happening all around you. As the days go by, you will continue to notice these changes both personally and collectively. This moon has everything to do with nourishing your inner equilibrium, but most importantly, it's here to inspire collective consciousness. So that's pretty deep, collective consciousness. So whatever you believe, it's always a silver lining to the chaos. Everybody knows the universe works in mysterious ways, but there is nothing more paradoxical than what's happening right now in this very moment. Despite the overwhelming horror and toxicity stemming from this severe pandemic, people all over the world and more are united even more than ever, especially thanks to technology. So with that being said, if you take a look around your screen and you see all these awesome people with us, it's because there's several people from other states that are with us. So it's actually really a blessing in disguise because this probably wouldn't have ever been an option before. So thank you for being here tonight. And get comfortable in your seat and we'll begin some breath work. So I'm gonna move away and go to my mat and try to talk as loud as I can. If you can't hear me when I'm on this mat behind me, unmute yourself and say, hey, we can't hear you. So we'll just get started in a comfortable seat. And we're gonna work on the breath to begin. It might be kneeling, or it might be cross-legged. And I invite you to close your eyes if you find that that's comfortable for you. And just try to dial into your natural breath pattern. Don't force anything just yet, just becoming aware of the breath. Maybe doing like a mental scan of how your body's feeling. And just trying to relax in the seat. Maybe you take this opportunity to set an intention for your practice or dedicate your practice to somebody. But just be present. And then begin to bring more awareness to that breath. So maybe linking the length of your inhale with the length of your exhale. And then what would it be like if your breath was a little bit more audible? There was more constriction in the back of the throat. So the inhale as your belly fills up and expands, and you use that breath 360 degrees around your rib cage. And then maybe you pause at the top of that inhale. And then exhale, letting it out through the nose. Belly draws up and in. And a few more mindful breaths just like that. Inhaling through the nose. Exhale, letting it out. Once again, just trying to link your movements with your breath. So on inhales, we try to rise up, lift up, and exhale, we sink deeper into poses. And then go ahead and make your way into a child's pose at the back of your mat. So your knees will widen out, your hips sink back towards your heels. You can rest your forehead on your mat and extend your arms out long in front of you. So somebody's audio is on, so I would just ask if everyone could turn their audio off, please. We can't hear you. And Tandy, that would be you. I think everybody else is good, and Keith as well. Sorry, guys. So Kim, if you could just mute yourself. So child's pose is a great reminder that at any time in any class that you can come back to this pose for rest, to recenter yourself, take a break, focus back in on the breath. In your inhales, try to lengthen out through the shoulders, out through the fingertips, and exhale, sink a little deeper into the heels. Then walk your hands up towards your body, find a tabletop position. So your hands are directly underneath your shoulders, your knees are underneath your hips, and your spine is neutral. You can have your toes tucked or untucked, that's totally up to you. You have a flat, neutral spine, and your gaze is down between your hands. So we're gonna start with just some cat-cow rolls. So on an inhale, you untuck your tailbone, lift your chest up, chin lifts, and exhale, press through your hands around your spine, press into a cat back. And then come back through a neutral spine. And again, we'll inhale up through cow, chin lifts, chest forward, and exhale, press back, cat. Back to neutral. And we'll do a couple more at your own pace of that cat and cow, adding any additional movement that you find necessary. So you can keep your movements as small or as big as you want. And try to use your breath, link your breath with that movement. Take about 2 more rounds of that cat and cow. Just warming up the spine. When you've completed those 2 rounds, you can take your right hand underneath your face, press that hand down so your shoulder's above your wrist, and inhale the left arm up. So you're opening up for a twist, you're stacking the shoulders, you're reaching up tall. Your gaze can be down at that bottom hand or up towards the sky or ceiling. And then exhale, thread that left arm underneath you so that you come down on the left shoulder. And then you might need to extend your right fingertips out a little further to make that happen. So you're just opening for a twist. Trying to square the hips. You can't really see what your hips are doing, but maybe just feel where they are in space and see how that intensifies the stretch. If you have that right arm out in front of you, you can walk it closer to your body. Plant the right hand underneath your face and draw that left arm back up where it was, stacking the shoulders. And then exhale, the left hand comes down underneath your face. We're gonna do the same thing on the other side. So inhale, the right arm comes up. Trying to stack the shoulders. Really pressing down through that bottom hand, lifting up through the top hand. And breathe. And exhale, take that right arm underneath you so you come down on the right shoulder. And you might need to move the left fingertips out in front of you a little bit. Walk that left hand back in, take the right arm up towards the ceiling or the sky. Keep reaching, stacking. And then exhale, both hands down to the mat. So you're back to that tabletop. So to warm up, we're gonna go through some kneeling sun salutations. So tuck your toes and start to sit back towards your heels and then walk your hands up your thighs. So you're getting a toe stretch. So we're going to inhale, the arms rise and the hips rise up. And then exhale, your hands to the mat, walk them forward. We're working towards a puppy pose. So get your forearms and elbows down, and that might be as far as you go. Or you can keep walking your hands out so that your chest is on the ground. So just see whatever works for you. And then leaving your hands where they are, we're gonna slide through a cobra pose. So this is the first one, so don't do too much, don't press to the hands too much, just try to lift up with your shoulders. You can even have your forearms down. And then we're gonna exhale, chin tucks, press back to downward facing dog, so hips lift. And then your heels are working towards the ground. Then lower the knees, come back to that kneeling position. Arms reach overhead, and exhale your hands to heart center. So that's one round. So we'll do a few more rounds just like that. Inhale, the arms reach up, hips lift. Exhale, hands down, walk them forward for a puppy pose. And then slide through cobra. Lift with the chest and the shoulders, and exhale back downward facing dog. So between that puppy and cobra transition, I have to walk my hands back to closer to my body to make that transition. And then lower the knees to the mat, sit back in that kneeling position. Inhale, the arms come up, and then exhale your hands at heart center. So we'll do that just a few more times. So inhale, rise up, hips lift. Exhale, hands down, puppy pose. Inhale, slide through cobra. Exhale, press back, downward facing dog. Lower the knees. Sit back in that kneeling position. Arms reach up. And exhale, hands at heart center. So one more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, down to puppy pose. Slide through cobra. Press back, downward facing dog. Lower the knees. Sit back kneeling. Arms reach up. And exhale, hands at heart center. So nice. So that's just a kneeling sun salutation. So find your way to downward facing dog. So plant your hands at the top of the mat, fingers spread wide. Press your hips up and back. So your feet should be about hip width distance apart. Your hands are shoulder width apart. And just walk your dog out. So maybe lifting one heel while lowering the other and switching sides. Making sure the neck is soft. Maybe a couple yeses, a couple nos. Just warming up. So we will come to downward facing dog many times. So you have many opportunities to deepen this pose. But for now, just warm it up, take it slow. We're gonna move through some regular sun salutations. So take your gaze at the top of the mat, and without lifting your palms, keep your flat hands down, walk your feet to meet your hands. As many steps as you need to. So bend your knees as much as you need to get your flat hands on the mat and forward fold. So let your head be loose. Let gravity do the work to pull your spine, your shoulders, your head down towards the bottom, towards the mat. And really work that breath in this fold. And then inhale, halfway lift, flat back, hands on shins. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, roll up through the spine, slow and controlled, heavy hands. Take your time. When shoulders are over your hips, you can roll your shoulders down and back. And inhale, the arms reach up overhead. And exhale, forward fold, hands to the mat. So bend your knees. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands down, step back to plank pose. So same thing, we're stacking the shoulders over the wrist and our heels are reaching towards the back of our mat so our body is flat. Your gaze is forward. Keep pressing that ground away. Engaging the shoulders and breathing. Bend the elbows and lower down with control for chaturanga. So your flat body is on the ground. You can untuck the toes and lift up to cobra. So if you're working that cobra and it feels comfortable, you might can lift your hands. That just makes sure that your shoulders are working. And then take your hands down, press back to downward facing dog. Take a few rounds of breath in this down dog, maybe walk it out again. The down dog is also a resting pose. It just takes time to realize it. But also anytime you need rest, you can come to down dog or back to child's pose. So sun salutation again. Take your gaze towards the top of the mat. You can walk or hop your feet to meet your hands. We all meet in a forward fold. The flat hands on the mat if it's comfortable. Bend your knees, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, roll up through the spine, heavy hands. When shoulders are over the hips, you can lift your arms overhead. And exhale, forward fold, hands to the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands down, step or hop back to plank. And lower down with controlled chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. If you're in upward facing dog, only your hands and your feet are down. Everything else is lifting up. Exhale, chin tucks, roll back, downward facing dog. One more just like that, picking up the pace. So gaze at the top of the mat, feet meet hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, roll up through the spine. Arms reach overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step or hop back to plank. Lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, chin tucks, downward facing dog. The bicycle at your feet again if it feels good. And really work that breath. And then lift your heels as high as they'll go and try to roll through every single vertebra until you come to a plank pose. So really pressing the ground away, engaging the shoulders. Lower down to chaturanga. At any time you can drop your knees too and hover in your chaturanga. Press back to plank. And then chin to chest, roll back, downward facing dog. We're gonna do that one more time. So inhale, let heels reach. Roll that energy up through your calves, your thighs, your back, so you come to plank. Lower down, chaturanga, hover. Press back to plank and down dog. Nice. Engage towards the top of your mat and walk or hop your feet to meet your hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, roll up through the spine. Arms reach overhead. So you can clasp your fingers so that your pointer fingers release like a staple grip, or you can hook your thumbs together. Inhale, find length. Exhale, press your hips forward and try to bend back a little bit. Doesn't have to be deep. And then inhale up to center. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands down, left foot steps to the back of the mat. So the left heel is up. The right knee is stacking over the right ankle. Inhale, the torso and the arms rise up for high lunge. We're working to get the right thigh parallel with the mat. And then exhale, hands down. Float the right foot back to meet the left. So we're in that plank. Lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, chin tucks, downward facing dog. Left foot up in the air. Step it up between the hands. Inhale, high lunge. So same thing, other side. So the left knee is over the left ankle. The right heel is reaching back behind you. The arms are up overhead. Exhale your hands down. Step the back foot forward and fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, roll up through the spine. Arms reach overhead. Inhale, you find length. Exhale, bend back, press your hips forward. Inhale, up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands down, right foot to the back of the mat, working towards high lunge. So feel your torso and arms up. Exhale, your hands down on either side of the left foot. Step your left foot back. Maybe it hovers as you lower down. Take a vinyasa, cobra or upward facing dog. Chin tucks, downward facing dog. Inhale, the right leg comes up. Step it in between the hands. Inhale, high lunge. Exhale your hands down. Step the back foot forward, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, roll up through the spine, heavy hands. Reach your arms up overhead. Press your hips forward, bend back. Inhale, up. And exhale, hands by your side, mountain pose. So at any time you need water, feel free to grab it. I'm talking a lot, so I'm getting a little out of breath. How's everyone doing? Thumbs up? Good, we can hear me? Awesome. We're gonna do that same thing one more time, then we're gonna keep moving on. So come to that mountain pose, feet underneath your hips, hip width distance apart. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands down. Step the left foot to the back of the mat. Inhale, high lunge. Exhale, hands down. Step the back foot, the front foot to meet the back. Lower down, chaturanga. Take your vinyasa. We all meet in down dog. Inhale, the left leg comes up. Step it between the hands. Inhale, high lunge. Exhale, hands down. Step the back foot forward, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, roll up through the spine. Arms reach overhead. Bend back. Press your hips forward. Inhale up. Exhale, dive down, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands down, right foot to the back of the mat, setting up that high lunge. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, hands down, step the left foot to the back. Plank, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Right leg in the air, three-legged dog. Send it up between the hands. Inhale, high lunge. Exhale, hands down. Step the back foot forward and fold. Catch your breath. Just fold. Don't force it. Just let gravity do the work. And then scoot your feet in to touch. So we're gonna go towards a chair pose. So our feet are together underneath us, touching if it's possible. Sit the hips back and inhale, the arms reach up, chair pose. So make sure that you can see all of your toes and your knees aren't going too far. If I move my knees back, I can see my toes. And then send your gaze up towards your hands. Energy in the fingertips. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, hands down, find your plank pose. Lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, back, down dog. We do a lot of vinyasas, so at any time you want to skip it and just go straight to down dog, feel free to do so. Inhale, the left leg comes up, step it between the hands. Rotate that right foot down so it's 45 degrees. Inhale the arms up, warrior one. Once again, bending into that front knee, lifting up through the torso, up through the fingers. Exhale your hands down. Step the the front foot back. Take your vinyasa. Then right leg, step it up and in between the hands. Send that back foot down so it's 45 degrees. Inhale the arms up, warrior one. Exhale the hands down. Step back, take a vinyasa. We all meet in down dog. Gaze towards the top of your mat. Stop, stop, step, or hop. Step and hop together means stop. Your feet to meet your hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. So bring your feet together, sit your hips back, find chair pose. And breathe. Inhale, rise up, arms reach, take a back bend. Inhale, up. Exhale, sit back chair. And exhale, forward fold. So one more round. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands down, step back to plank. Your version of a vinyasa. Cobra, upward facing dog. Exhale, down dog. Left foot up in between the hands. Spin the back foot down, warrior one. Exhale, hands down, step it back. Lower through vinyasa. All meet in down dog. Just one more. Inhale that right foot, send it up between the hands. Spin the back foot down. Inhale up for warrior one. Exhale your hands down. Step the right foot back. Lower through. Chin to chest, down dog. Lower your knees, sit back, take a child's pose. Focus on that breath. Come back to the intention if you set one at the beginning of the class. You dedicated your practice to somebody, maybe you bring them back into your mind. And when you have that thought, that intention, that person, you can release it and just come back to this moment where you are right now. You can't change anything that happened in the past, and you can't change anything that might happen in the future, so just be present. Using your breath, finding rest. And then from your child's pose, come back to a downward facing dog. So every time you come to down dog, set it back up so your fingers are spread wide. Grip the mat, claw the mat with your hands. It helps take pressure off the wrists. As far as for your feet, try to get your heels towards the ground. They might not come down, but that's okay. And then bend your knees about 6 to 8 inches so that they lower down towards the mat. Use your hands to press your chest back to your thighs, and then begin to straighten your legs. See if that deepens your down dog at all. And then slowly walk your hands to meet your feet at the back of your mat. You're in that forward fold. And then roll up through the spine to a mountain pose. So we're going to go through a moon salutation. So what would a moon themed class be without a moon salutation? So we're going to go through it one full round. And then if we have time, we'll go through it again. So for me, I'm going to step at the back of my mat. Hopefully that'll be the same for you guys. My feet are together, so I zip my legs up. So I'm pressing my knees together, my thighs together. I'm standing up tall. Inhale, the arms reach overhead. And then just take it over to the left. So lean towards the left, push your hips towards the right. So try to get that right shoulder behind your ear. It wants to come in front sometimes, so try to just sideward bend, and then inhale up to center. And then exhale over to the right and send your hips to the left. And inhale up to center. So just to clarify, I am not standing at the back of my mat facing the front of my mat. I'm actually standing with the long edge because we're going to pick up the left foot and step it out and turn the toes out 45 degrees so we can sit down in a low squat. So just move however you need to find that position. So this first time, I'm not going to do anything with my arms. I'm just going to let them hang here and just try to focus on my body from below. So sitting deep in the squat, my toes are about 45 degrees. If they were in, then I'd be more lower. But I'm trying to open up the inner thighs. And then just kind of shift around in that squat. So adding any movement, you might straighten the legs. You can add arm positions. Just get comfortable in this squat. It's a goddess squat. And then come back to center. Press through your feet, straighten your legs. Send your arms out at a T. Turn your left toes to face the top of your mat. And we're going to triangle pose. So hinge at the hips. Send the left arm down, right arm up. Triangle. So try not to lock your knee out. Have a little bit of a bend in that left knee. My right hip is open. It's not closed. My toes are about parallel with the back edge of my mat. I'm stacking my shoulders and opening up through the chest. And then lower your hands down on either side of the left foot. Step the back foot forward. Shorten the stance. So those toes are going to turn. So both of my feet are pointing towards the top of my mat. And fold over your straightening left leg, pyramid pose. So trying to press back through that left hamstring. And fold and breathe. Then put a bend into that left knee, plant your hands down. We're going into low lunge. So I'm going to lower my right knee, shin, and toes. And then inhale, my arms come up. Exhale, I bend back. I press my hips forward. Inhale, up. And exhale, gently lower my hands down on either side of the left foot. And we're working towards Skandasana. So I'm going to turn to face the long edge of my mat. My left glute is over my left heel. So if you can keep the left heel down, keep it down. Sometimes it pops up, no problem. And the right toes come up. This is our side lunge. And then I'm going to take the same shape to the back of my mat. So right glute over right heel, left toes come up. So take that shape one more time in each direction. Beautiful. So that was one full set. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. So I'm going to turn to face the back of my mat. I'm getting ready for that low lunge. So I lower the left knee, shin, toes, and inhale, the arms come up. Exhale, press my hips forward, bend back. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands down on either side of the right foot. Step the back foot forward for pyramid. So both of my feet are facing the back of my mat and I'm folding over my straightening right leg. So here you have the option to step the back foot out for triangle, or if you want, you can keep the feet where they are and just lift the left arm up. So this is more like a revolved, like pyramid pose. And if you want to do the triangle, you'll step your foot out and turn your toes out so that hip opens. Whichever version feels good to you today. Might be different for both sides. And then peel your torso up and find that squat in the middle of your mat. So I have to fully turn my left foot out and sit down into that squat. So you can leave your arms out at a T. You can send your arms overhead. You can cactus your arms. Wherever you are, try to sit low into that squat. And then press down into that left foot, send the right foot to meet the left, arms reach overhead. And then bend over to the right side, hips to the right, arms to the left. Inhale up, take it over to the other side. Inhale up. And step back out with that right foot, find that squat in the middle of your mat, sit down low. So it's like your spine and your back are against a wall because you're sitting up tall, your shoulders rolling down your back, your knees are pointing out. Keep trying to press them towards the pinky toes and any arm position that you like. Straighten the legs, send the arms out at a T. Right foot forward, we're taking it on the other side, triangle pose. So left arm up, right arm down. Then exhale your hands on either side of the right foot, shorten your stance. Step that back foot forward, fold, pyramid. Folding over your right, straightening leg. And breathe. And then gently lower the left knee, shin, toes, preparing for low lunge. Inhale, the arms reach up. Exhale, bend back, press the hips forward. Inhale, up. Hands on either side of the right foot. Returning to find that side lunge. So turn to face the long edge of your mat. My right glute's over the right heel, the left toes are up, and then take that shape to the front of your mat. Your right toes are up, your left heel is down. Turn to face the front of the mat, preparing for low lunge. So gently lower the right knee, shin, toes. Inhale, the arms reach up. Exhale, bend back. Inhale, up. Exhale, hands down. Step the back foot forward, pyramid. So fold over that left leg. Make sure your neck is soft. Slightly tuck your chin towards your chest. And same option here. You can take triangle pose or you can just lift that right arm up. Press to your feet, your torso rises up, arms at a T. Find that squat position, so turn that right foot out, sit down low. You can cactus your arms. And then press to the right foot, send the left foot to meet the right, the back of the mat, arms reach up. And exhale over to the left, send the hips to the right. Inhale up through center. And take it over to the other side, hips to the left, arms to the right. Inhale back up. And exhale your hands down at heart center. Whew. I don't know where you guys are, but it is warm in this house. So like I said, take water, take rest anytime you need it. I'm going to go ahead and work into some standing poses. So if you have a block and you think that you might need it, you might want to have it towards the top of your mat. We're going to go through a bound half moon and half moon, so that's where the block might be helpful. So in half moon, you can lean down and grab the block. You can just have it there, or if you're comfortable, you can place your hand on the ground. So just a little sneak peek of what's coming. So start at the top of the mat. I'm going to face you guys just so you can see me, so whatever's comfortable for you. And find that mountain pose and close your eyes if it feels good. And just take a moment to pause in this mountain pose. So the feet are hip width distance apart. And you feel grounded. So maybe you feel your feet underneath you. You feel the toes. You rock over to the blades of the feet, back on the heels. Just explore all the inches of your feet. So your feet holding you up. The ground always underneath you. Breathe. Focus back in on that breath. Did you lose it? Or have you kept it going? And if you have your eyes closed, you can gently open them. We're going to work towards a tree pose. So put your attention into your right foot, and your left foot will come onto the ankle. Left foot on the right calf. Totally skip the knee. Can go on the inside of the right thigh, or if you are flexible, you can bring that left foot across your right hip. So whatever foot position you need, feel free to take that, and then bring your hands apart center. So this is about balance, so you have to focus. So maybe you find something on your mat or floor, your deck, something that's not moving that you can focus on. It's called your drishti. So for me, it's just a spot on the wood. And if you feel like it, your tree can grow to branches and you can send your arms up overhead. Really rooting down into that right foot to support this tree pose. And breathe. Then you can lower your hands down. We're moving into dancer. So what does that mean? So I'm going to take my left foot behind me, catch it with my left hand, and start kicking and pulling into that leg. I send my right arm out in front. So it's a hinge, a kick, and a pull. I'm hinging at the hips. I'm kicking back into that left hand, and I'm reaching away with the right. I'm trying to find balance, so really open up that hip. It's okay if you fall out of it, no problem. You just come right back. Dancer pose. So wherever you're working is perfectly fine. So now we're working towards bound half moon. So try to keep that left hand foot grip and gently lower your right hand to the ground. So this is where you might want to grab a block. So you might need to modify this to fit your practice. I'm not there with you, so I don't know what your body can do. So just do what you can. This is bound half moon. And then release the left foot and hand and open up for half moon. I'm opening up that left hip. My right hand's on the block or the ground, and my left arm reaches up. I'm stacking my shoulders, half moon. And then square that left hip down. So reach that left heel up. We're squaring the hips, looking forward, working towards warrior three. So the arms can reach out. You can have them out at a T or hands at heart center, but you're lifting that left heel. I know your hip is screaming. Keep going, keep breathing. Keep lifting that left heel. And then exhale your hands down to the mat, standing split. So bend into that right knee as much as you need to. Keep lifting that left heel up. Standing split. And exhale that left foot down to the mat. Ooh, my hip's screaming. I don't know about you guys. Then go ahead and widen out your stance. So your feet are about the width of the mat. And then start to sit your hips back. So this might be where your squat is. Or if you feel comfortable, you can start to sit your bottom close to the ground. And then press your elbows on the inside of your knees. So you're pressing your knees out and your knees are pressing into your elbows. Then you can bring your hands at heart center. Maybe you sit a little taller. So inhale, you find length, you sit up tall. And exhale, maybe you deepen into that squat a little bit. And then plant your hands to the mats and your hips up, find a wide forward fold. Your feet might be off the mat or very close to the edge of the mat, just fold. And then inhale, roll up through the spine, take your time. Shoulders roll back and down. You might want to shake it out if it feels good. So I can't leave you hanging. We got to do it on the other side so you know it's coming. So if you weren't able to do the bound half moon, no problem. Go do it on this side. If you want to try it, go for it. So back to that mountain pose. Setting our attention down into the left foot. And we pick up the right foot. So the right foot can be on the left ankle, left calf, skip the knee. It can be on the inside of that thigh, or you can take the right foot across into the left hip. So every side is different, so you might be able to take a different position than you did on the first side. Bring your hands at heart center, find that gazing point to look at, and breathe. So trees aren't always still, sometimes they move around in the wind, so if you find a little bit of wobbliness, that's totally okay. And then any arm position that you like, so you might take your arms up overhead. Focus and breathe. And then bring your hands back down. We're working towards that dancer pose. So I'm going to unhook where my right foot is, send it behind me, catch the right foot in the right hand. I've got a good firm grip. My thumb is pressing into the ball of my foot. And it's a hinge, kick, pull. So I'm pulling on that foot. I'm hinging at the hips. Send the left arm out in front. And try to open that hip, so really kick up and away, dancer pose. Beautiful. Breathe, focus. Then keep that foot grip, just gently lower your left hand to the block or to the ground. This is bound half moon. And then release that foot grip, send the right arm up, stack your shoulders, try to open up that right hip. Half moon. I don't see why they call this half moon because it doesn't really look like a moon, but I'll have to look into it and let you guys know. Then square that right hip down. Send the right heel up. Warrior three. Send your arms out in front of you. Airplane them behind you. Wherever you are, put a little bend into that left knee and draw that right heel up. Almost there. And then exhale, hands to the mat, standing split. Keep lifting the right heel up and pressing the ground away. Try to fold over that left leg. Use that breath, keep lifting that heel, pressing the ground for 3, for 2, and 1. Gently lower the right foot to meet the left. And find that squat again. So widen out your stance, turn your toes out, sit down into a squat. And plant your hands, step your feet back, find downward facing dog. You should feel pretty warmed up now. So use that cueing that I did before, the lowering the knees, press the chest back towards the thighs, then lower the heels. Really press the ground away. There's equal weight in the hands and feet. Then bring your feet together at the back of the mat. Inhale, the right leg comes up. Bend that heel towards your glute. Shift forward towards a plank. We're going to go to pigeon pose. So place your right knee near your right hand. Let that foot be on the mat. And then let the left leg go out long. So check behind you. Make sure that foot isn't perpendicular. It should be nice and long and parallel with that mat, the long edge of your mat. And then walk your hands up towards your body. Big inhale. And then exhale, forward fold. Walk your hands out in front of you and try to relax your chest, your forehead, whatever you can towards the mat. So for me, my right foot is really close to my left hip because my hips aren't open enough to do like a full pigeon. So what some people can do, because their hips allow it, is it's almost like the knee to ankle on that right foot is parallel with the short edge of your mat and they can fold. So for me, that's not what works. So just take any variation that you want that feels good today. And breathe in this pigeon. So we did a lot of standing, kind of work on those hips just then. So we're going to try to release some of that tension. And then walk your hands back towards your body. Tuck that back foot and go back to three-legged dog. So your right leg is in the air. And then exhale that right foot down, send the left leg up, same thing, bend the left heel towards that glute, shift forward towards a plank position, and then gently lay that left leg down in front of you. Then untuck the right toes, look behind you, make sure that they are parallel with the long edge of the mat. Walk your hands up towards your body, sit tall. And then exhale, forward fold over that leg, send your fingertips out in front of you. And relax down, pigeon on this side. Walk your hands back up towards your body. And just lean over to the left side and swing that right leg out long so your legs are out in front of you. And then haul up that right knee in towards your body. Reach around with your hands on that shin and pull that knee up tight. Sit up tall. And then cross the right foot over the left thigh. So now my right foot's on my left side. And then take the left hand on top of the right knee and the right hand behind the right hip. We're going to open up for a twist. So try not to use the ground too much to make this twist. Try to use your chest, your shoulders to open, and then your chin is the last thing that turns. And sit up tall. If you want to, you can take the left elbow on the outside of the right knee to give you a little bit more leverage. But just be mindful if you do so. And then keep your feet where they are, just counter twist. So just take your hands over to the left. And then come back to center, uncross the right foot, and same thing on the other side. So take the left knee, hug it up in towards your body, give it a good squeeze. And then cross the left foot over the right thigh. The left hand comes behind the left hip. The right hand comes on top of the left knee, and I begin to open up towards the left. So I'm using my breath to make this turn. So I'm inhaling, I'm sitting up tall, and exhale, maybe I open up just a little bit more. Once again, you have the option to take the right knee on the outside of that left knee to give you a little bit more leverage. You keep your feet where they are. Take that counter twist over to the right. Then back to center. So keep that left foot crossed and then just lean over to the right and send that right foot underneath you. So I'm going to try to stack my knees. So for me to do that, I have to sit on top of my bottom foot and then my knees stack. If you feel comfortable doing it on the ground, that's fine. I'm sitting up tall. Inhale, the arms reach up. And then exhale, forward fold over your stacking knees. You should start to feel something maybe in the outside of the left hip. If you can reach a little bit further away with those fingertips. Try to relax and breathe. Then bring your hands back up towards your body. So you have two options. You can just switch your legs, or you can be fancy and you can press up and turn. I'm keeping my feet exactly where they are. I'm just turning around 360 degrees and sitting down. So now that my right knee is on top of my left knee. So same thing to set it up. I've got to move over and sit on my bottom foot for my knees to stack. So you inhale, the arms reach up. And exhale, forward fold. Move your hands back in towards your body. Uncross your legs, send them out long in front of you. And then gently lower down onto your back. So just take your time. Your shoulders, your back, hips, legs, everything's just resting down on the mat. And then bend that left foot so the knee is up. Bend the left knee, your foot is on the mat. And then cross the right ankle on top of the left knee. So it's like a figure four position. And try to press that knee out, that right knee out away from you. This might be all you need right now. If so, just stay there. If you need a little bit extra, you can reach up and grab underneath the left thigh with your hands. And then gently lower back onto the mat and try to bring that left knee in towards your chest. Once again, another hip stretch. So try to flex through your toes or extend your toes. Just have energy that helps protect the knee. And really pull on that left hamstring, bringing it closer to your body. And you have the option to play with the bentness and straightness of the left leg. So you might send the left foot up towards the ceiling or the sky, or just keep it bent where it is. And if you need a little more, you have the option to take that right elbow on the outside of that, or the inside of that right thigh, and kind of press it open a little bit more. And exhale, just release. Send the left foot to the mat, uncross that right foot, and we're gonna switch sides. So right foot is down, right knee is up. Gently take the left ankle, drape it across the right knee, and try to press that left knee forward towards the top of your mat. And then reach underneath the right leg, grab a hold of it, and then gently lower back towards the mat and try to pull that right knee towards your chest. How's your breathing? Once again, you have the option to use the elbow to open up that knee a little bit more. You can also play with the bentness and straightness of the right leg. And gently release the right foot to the mat, uncross the left foot. And then let your knees go out and bring your feet together. So you're in a cobbler's pose. You're pressing your feet together. They're directly underneath you, under the center of your body, and your knees are opening up to the left and right side. Try to really press your feet together. And then gently bring your knees back, your feet back to the mat. Your knees are pointing up. And then bring your knees towards your chest. Reach around your calves, your shins, and grab a hold of your legs and give yourself a good squeeze, a good hug. You can lift your shoulders and head off the mat if it feels comfortable. You can maybe roll around on your low back if it feels good. And then keep the left knee drawn in and send that right leg out long on the mat. And send your left arm out to the left. And then gently guide the left knee across your body to the right. We're just doing a spinal twist. So your shoulders should be on the mat. If it pops up, you might need to back out of it a little bit. But just try to lay in this twist, allowing gravity to pull that left knee down across your body. And then bring that left knee back across, hug both knees in, give them another good squeeze. Roll around on your back. And then keep that right knee drawn in and send the left leg out long. And then send the right arm out to the right. Gently guide the right knee across your body over to the left. Then inhale, draw that right knee back across your body, hug both knees in. And if you feel like your practice needs any more shapes to complete it, so maybe like a happy baby, or maybe you want to roll around, whatever you need to do, feel free to do so. And then we will all meet in our final relaxation corpse pose. So the legs are extended long, arms are out by our sides, the feet are flopping open. Allowing the breath to slow down and be natural. And just try to be heavy into your mat. And rest, maybe close your eyes. Enter these turning points where the rhythms of life transform into each other. Breath flows in, filling, filling. In this moment, drink eternity. Breath flows out, emptying, emptying, offering itself to infinity. Cherishing these moments, mind dissolves into heart, heart dissolves into space. Body becomes a vibrating field, pulsating between fullness and emptiness. At the end of the exhale, breath surrenders to quietude. For a moment you hang in the balance, suspended, in the fertile spaciousness that is the source of breath. At the end of the inhale, filled with the song of the breath, there is a moment when you are simply holding the tender mystery. In these interludes, experience opens into exquisite vastness with no beginning and no end. Embrace this infinity without reservation. You are its vessel. So you might begin to deepen your breath in your Shavasana, maybe inviting some small movements back into your fingertips and your toes. And on your next inhale, you can stretch your arms long behind you, full body stretch. And then exhale, feet to the mat, knees point up. Maybe roll over to the right side. You can use that right bicep as a pillow. And then use your hands to walk your body back up to a comfortable seat like when we started. And we'll take just a few rounds of breath together to end our practice. So exhale out all your air. Then inhale through the nose, pausing at the top, and then exhaling through the nose. And two more just like that. Inhale. And exhale. One more inhale. And exhale. If you feel comfortable, I invite you to bring your hands together at heart center. Thank you for joining me tonight for this virtual full moon class. Take an opportunity to go outside and check out the moon. Thank yourself for taking a break from life for a few minutes to work on yourself and be present. And thank you for supporting our community. Hope you have a great evening and stay safe and healthy. Namaste.
Thank you.